Hello and welcome to Our Waking Dream. I'm your host, Coco Swanson, spiritual strategist, mentor, consultant, and forever seeker. Each week on this show, I'll be offering a basic astrology lesson to tie in one theme moving through that week. And then I'll offer practical tools rooted in energy healing, in esoteric practices, wisdom traditions, somatic release, in order to help you move with the flow of energy, to help clear anxiety and stress from our systems, to help you come into your purpose and your power, and really to help us all activate what our essentiality, what we came here to offer the world. I'm really excited to talk about this week. This week we have a big transit. We've got Saturn today that just shifted retrograde. Astrology is a language of metaphors. It's alive and it's been around for thousands of years. This said, we have to understand the metaphor in order to see how it relates to our lives. Saturn is about structure. So each planet or cosmic body represents something. Saturn is about how we bring the structure that we need to bring our dreams to life and how to make them in ways that create sustainability, that perhaps regenerate if it's meant to regenerate. And so Saturn is really about bringing things into form. Saturn right now just turned retrograde. What that means is, from our perspective, the planet is moving backwards. Planets don't actually move backwards, but the perspective, our perspective of it moving backwards, is what matters. And it's a time when Saturn moves backwards to reconsider the structure of what you're bringing to life right now. Let me explain that more. So Saturn brings things into form, and it's in this gorgeous dance for 2025 and 2026 with Neptune that really is quite different. It's Neptune, unlike Saturn, that brings things into form. Neptune is about formlessness. It's about soul. It's about spirit. It's about love. It's about the dreamer. I love that this is happening during the launch period of Our Waking Dream. Because Our Waking Dream has been a project that I've been stewing in different forms for almost a decade now. And I'm not into hustle culture. I don't believe that hustling gets us anywhere in a way that's fortified, sustainable, and relaxed. So I allow the dissolving of my dreams as much as I allow the formation of my dreams into form here, into either a relationship, a business, the structure of anything Saturn works with. So Neptune and Saturn are in this gorgeous dance where they're coming together and moving apart within just a few degrees, which that means on the zodiac, it's a conjunction. It means it's together. If it's within 3 degrees, it's considered a conjunction. So they're in this conjunction, this dance for 2025 and 2026. That's a pretty long dance. And they're dancing between the end of the zodiac and the beginning of the zodiac. So this is kind of a complicated story. So thanks for bearing with me with this week's theme, because it points to a larger story that's moving through the collective. So Neptune has been in Pisces. And Neptune's a very slow moving planet. And so it's been in Pisces for a good bit of time. And it's allowing us to really release old dreams, old ways of being in our soul, old ways of what we like, shedding what we used to align with as a soul. This is a big move, right? I am shedding what I used to align with the soul. I'm shedding my old ways of inhabiting spirit. And these big. I'm releasing. And then as Neptune moves into Aries, from my perspective, that's a lot about bringing our dreams, our soul's mission to Earth. Because Aries, so we shift from Pisces into Aries, which is what Saturn and Neptune are in the process of doing right now. Saturn moves retrograde today, joining Neptune, which is already retrograde in Aries, the first sign of the zodiac. The first sign of the zodiac, think of it, the beginning of life. That what is my soul called to bring to Earth? That's what Neptune is about, mixed with Saturn. It's the dreamer into form. Yet, luckily, you don't, like astrology, I like that we have built-in retrogrades. They're like buffers, because it's a big deal. Like, what does my soul want to bring into form this life? What's your soul here to bring to form? And how do we determine that? And how can we use this time where Saturn and Neptune are retrograding in Aries, and they'll both this autumn, and September 1st is when Saturn moves back into Pisces, and in October Neptune will move back into Pisces, and in 2026 they both move forward and will not visit Pisces until they return around the zodiac. And that's a big deal. So it means that this time is a luxury right now. So I love to think of Saturn as the planet that allows for me to really make sure that something is meant to come to form. So what are you here to bring to form? How do we discover that? So that's the first practice is looking at what you are divinely inspired to bring to life. And I suggest this through an altar practice. So an altar, I set up a very simple structure, Saturn, for my altar, and so it can be replicated. And it's as simple as knowing that I am sacred, knowing I'm a soul, and that if energy shifts, form shifts, thought forms, relationship patterns, who and what I attract changes as my energy changes. So I bring to the altar that which I hope to alter, that which I hope to change. I alter to alter. And I do so. So in this case, I'd set up a little space, and I could set it up right here. It's something special, a place that in that moment feels special. Oftentimes I'll do them outside. I have one ongoing on a really special coffee table of mine that was my grandma's. And I bring stones. So you could just grab something from outside that calls to you in nature. Right away, when I enlist the support of something like a stone, everything's made out of energy, everything's alive. When I enlist the support of something like a stone to help, it's like from my feeling, the stone's like, yes. I get to help transform energy for this being. To me, it's this gorgeous co-creative relationship where I breathe my heart's desire. So what are your passions? And how can you let them stew, rearrange, reorganize? What do you love? That's Neptune, like going back to Pisces. What are you here to embody as a soul? And that can be found in what you love, and especially what you loved when you were a kid, before we put the layers of conditioning on through our family conditioning, through our karmic, our wounds, and through the cultural conditioning. What at a soul level lit you up? So what I suggest is to make an altar and to start sitting in that space and to breathe. You intend, this is a sacred space. I mean, it's super simple. And you intend and breathe. I activate my passion. I'm open to embody and discover what my soul is here to bring into form. That's what this is about with Saturn. At least for me, one aspect of what this is about is Saturn and Neptune dancing back and forth across the beginning and the end of the zodiac allows for us to really tap into what we are here to bring into form as a soul, our place of contribution at a soul's level. And that's not something I think about. It's something I engage at a soul level, and that's what altars can really do. So ultimately, we are moving forward from Pisces with Saturn and Neptune, the dream and that which brings the dream into form. That's Saturn. Ultimately, we're moving forward. But right now, we get this gorgeous retrograde period. It's like a little breather. It takes the pressure off. So allow yourself to make mistakes. Allow yourself to reimagine what you are here to bring to the world. And so in this season of review and retrogrades, so we have a handful of retrogrades, not only a Saturn stationing retrograde. I'm just choosing to talk about that one this week because it feels bigger to me. It feels like, big, red, yay, focus on this. Even though Mercury is stationing retrograde on the 18th. Saturn and Neptune to me are these big, the outer planets have a lot of gravitational pull. And they move through the collective, our psyche, in ways that really govern the subtleties of what we're thinking and dialoguing about and what we're able to accomplish. And so right now, through next spring, really, it's early next year. Between now and winter, it's in January and February next year, that Saturn and Neptune will be moving back into Aries, and they will not re-enter Pisces until they move all the way around the zodiac. And so this is a really beautiful period of time to do some soul searching. So through altar, sitting, holding a stone in front of your forehead or your heart or your mouth, anchoring into your breath, and breathing, imagining that you are igniting your soul's purpose. What if you are an essential piece of the puzzle? I love this. How can we all create conditions and structure for more of our spirit to be in form? That's what this is about. How do we create the structure for more of our divinity to be incarnate? So bringing it to the altar. Number 2, contemplative journaling. So this is to discern your sweet spot. Joy, service, combined, purpose. This is something that my mentor, Marie Claire, taught me. Gosh, it's been probably 15 years. And then dear friend Anaïs is looking at uncovering, exploring, and embodying your childlike passion. So in contemplation and journaling, it's allowing yourself to tap back in. Like, what do I love? If I didn't have to think about money, if I didn't need to think about how this made sense, if this was practical, if it's something that people would like, if I tossed that aside and I looked at, what do I love? Like, what are my passions? So as a child, I've always loved to dance, to love to move. And that is one of my biggest transformative tools, is through movement. And that wasn't something like somatic ecstatic dance was not taught in the 80s, in the 90s when I was growing up. My commitment to my passion keeps movement on the forefront. And it's in service. So over time, I had a yoga studio. I teach somatics, so your passion in service becomes your purpose. How cool is that? So journal over this next time, contemplate, talk to your friends, share with the folks that you're doing these exercises with. I suggest sharing this podcast with people that would also get something out of looking at this stuff. Like, really, who is it in your life that you can share this? Because we need each other too. In order to create new structures, in order to land, we need each other. I'm passionate about creating cultures of care. So what if I am an essential piece of this puzzle, in this earthly puzzle, and I can activate that role through uncovering my joy, my childlike joy, and through exploring ways in which that could serve you in the world. And that was a real sweet spot. What do I love? What do I love as a child? And how could it be in service? Practice number 3. Can I do that now? Can I do that practice now? No attachment to outcome. This was me this morning out in the forest dancing by myself. And although I'm, public, I'm still shy. Sometimes I don't want to be seen dancing in the forest. And it's more important that I dance in the forest with divinity than it is that people think I'm weird or not weird. I think now is the time for our freak flakes to shine. Now is our time to really discover what it is that you love and to start doing it as if your soul depended on it. What if your soul really depends on you doing and discovering and embodying your passion? So if while Saturn and Neptune are moving retrograde, we're allowing our soul's purpose to activate and fostering that activation through altar work. So you bring into a sacred place. You could just have a tiny one. I have big ones, I have little ones, I have outside and inside, because I take this really seriously. If I alter something energetically and spiritually, it has no chance but to alter and form, because energy creates form. So I allow myself to bring to the altar, to blow in, to say, I activate my heart's desire and I ask for assistance in this. All that's divine. And if that's the universe, if that's God, goddess, whatever it is that you name, that's that spiritual counterpart that's always active. So we allow and foster our soul's passion. We write about it, we talk about it, and we allow the world to arrange and rearrange to make room for our passion and our purpose to come into form. And to allow the form to change right now. And so to loosely hold attachment to outcomes. With Pisces, the more we surrender. So as this autumn, in the autumn, September and October, when Neptune and Saturn move back into Pisces, that's a full surrender. How can I surrender more in order to allow for more of my soul to be incarnate, embodied in ways that are in service to you and the world? Journaling, altars, and doing it now. How can I embody that now with courage? And how can we do this in community so we can help each other? Because our soul's purpose is quite vulnerable. It's not guarded. It's here. It's childlike. How can we create cultures of care so we buoy each other in this time of experimentation? Okay. That's brought us to the end of episode 3 of Our Waking Dream. Deep breaths, one step at a time. Please like, share, comment. This is just getting rolling. Also, in my newsletter, I'll be offering a free, a supplemental tool each week. You can sign up for my newsletter. Anything else? I think that's it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you, I love you, I love you. Thank you for being a part of our community here at Our Waking Dream. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Fill my cup and let it overflow. Let it overflow with love.